Hey, YouTube, this is John. I haven't done a review in a while, and one of the reasons is I've been playing a whole lot of Monster Hunter, and also I'm hoping to eventually get a capture card here, but until then, I wanted to do a review of Monster Hunter. You can see I've played 57 hours, and some of them are probably not getting logged, but I've barely touched the surface of the game. I'm only at high rank online, and still haven't done even I've probably done maybe 3/4 of the Moga Village quests. There's a lot to this game. This is a sequel to Monster Hunter 3 on the Wii. They've basically made it an expansion pack. I had Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii, and it was a pretty good game. The graphics were actually really good for the Wii. Unfortunately for the Wii U, I would argue the graphics aren't as good, but it's still a good-looking game. So let me talk a little bit about what makes this game special. Right now I'm in Moga Village, and of course you can play online, and you'll go to Port Tanzia, and basically there's a whole bunch of quests you can't do in Moga Village that are online. The two guys following me are kind of like your partners when you do single player or you do the multiplayer quests alone. You can do quests online, as I mentioned. You can use the gamepad for your audio chat, something more games should do. The only games other than that use that are Injustice, Gods Among Us, and Need for Speed Most Wanted, so it's nice that that was incorporated. You can also play co-op with people with the 3DS version. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to test that. I do have a 3DS, but I don't have the 3DS version. The 3DS version does not have online play. That's the big difference between them. Of course, this is in HD, 1080p. The 3DS is in 3D. The 3DS is native resolution. So let me real quick choose a quest that's it's going to be an easy one. I'm going to do the volcano. They have different areas, so that's kind of nice. Let me just buy real quick some cool drinks. You have them in your box as well. This is kind of what's amazing about the game. You got to prepare for every single hunt, no matter what you're going to fight. So you got to gather resources. You can run a farm. There's a whole lot of information you can get, and there's a lot of guides out there to help you along the way. So I'm just going to pick something easy. That's too easy. Let me save it. Maybe this is one. Yeah, he's a piece of cake. I'm going to pick him. I'm going to go to the volcano. So I had some cool drinks because obviously the volcano's hot. So you got to prepare for each quest. I should eat, but he's such a wuss. But I'll still eat. It'll make it even easier. And of course, your foods based on the stars is how much health you get. You want to know what you're fighting, and you want to take a look at all these. There's a lot of strategy to these games. And again, there's a lot of guides and stuff out there, so I'm not going to go too far into this. So basically, I'm eating. It gives me a boost before every quest. And of course, you can do more quests for the canteen, what they call it, to get more ingredients. So there's that going on for the game. Loading times, as you can see, are kind of weird. Every section area loads. It's not like an open world game. A lot of people, they think, oh, it's going to be like World of Warcraft or even, say, oh, I should have got deodorant because this guy can get you screwed up there. But anyway, you can see the graphics aren't anything great, but they did HDify it, if you will. A lot of your time in this game is spent collecting resources and fighting the same monsters over and over, what we call farming. Of course, when you do it online, it's a lot more fun, but it's actually even fun here. There's always a sense of progression in Monster Hunter. So you're going to put in a lot of time, even though there aren't that many areas, and this is where people get confused, because they say, well, why would I want to play a game where there's not much to the game? There's not many areas. So I took a cool drink there to prepare for my hunt as I go into the volcano. There's not much to do. It's not like Skyrim. It's has more in common with, say, World of Warcraft, and that's true. But it is like World of Warcraft. You can play online, but unfortunately, you can only do 4 players at a time. One of my big gripes of the game is when you join somebody that's already in progress in a quest, you got to kind of wait in Port Tanzia until the quest's over. So let me go see if I can find that guy. Perfect, there he is. He's a real piece of cake. He's a patty cake. There he is. He's basically a red version of Winnie the Pooh that lives in a volcano. They also added an auto lock, which is really nice. Now, it doesn't auto lock like Zelda, Z-Trigger, or anything like that. A lot of people I hear that they say, by the way, when I'm combating, this is the game's a button masher. First off, the combat is really good. There's a lot of strategy to it, but yet it's simple at the same time. Whoops, I almost almost got hit. Oh, I'm missing big time. Doing bad, and this guy's pretty easy, by the way. I have a slime weapon. Certain weapons give certain levels of damage. Oh, I got stumped. See, that's what I need the deodorant for. Again, that's why you want to prepare for your fight. Oh, he's in the lava. Come on out. You want to prepare for your fight. It's a lot more than just, oh, I'm going to button mash. I get mad when I hear people tell me, oh, it's a button masher, because it's not even close to a button masher. And, I'm using a slime weapon, but actually probably a water weapon or even an ice weapon might be more effective. Or maybe a thunder weapon that shoots like lightning out of it. Maybe that's more effective. I don't know, to tell you the truth. But each monster you kind of got to research. Now, he's such a piece of cake that it doesn't really matter. He's pretty low. He's pretty weak. Honestly, there's a similar animal to him in Moga Village. I mean, in the very beginning of Moga Village, he's just slightly harder than that. Ooh, he paralyzed me. And I'm on lava. That probably. Well, he woke me up. That woke me up. But but he's pretty easy comparatively to other monsters in the game. But there's always a sense of progression. So maybe I'll kill him like 20 times. And I might build an armor set of him if his armor set's good. And every armor set has advantages and disadvantages. Every weapon has an advantage and disadvantage, and there's no definitive, one weapon's better than the other weapon. Really, there's 12 classes. You can pick all kinds of types of weapons. That's another reason you can keep replaying. I have probably 4 weapon types. Dual swords is my main, but I've experimented with the switch axe, the hammer, the long sword, the great sword, and I actually have weapons for them, and they really do change the way I play the game. I wouldn't be so offensive, for instance, if I wasn't playing with dual swords. He's already hurt. You can see he's limping. This is another thing about Monster Hunter. Notice, look, there's no monster health. How do I know how badly I have him injured? Well, you don't. You have to look for cues. He's going to drool when he's tired. He's going to steam when he's mad or roar. And once they're mad, they really do a lot of damage. And he's going to limp when he's injured. Some missions you have to capture them. Some missions you can kill or capture them. In this case, I can kill or capture him. Now, to capture him, I would have to put a trap and then tranquilize him twice. But here's the thing: you can't capture them when they're either enraged or if they're not weak. You saw him limp. So that was my cue that this guy is ready, this guy is pretty much ready to be cooked. And I told you he's a piece of cake, so don't expect all monsters to be like this. Good luck fighting, Brachydios and just taking 30 seconds. Now, he's not that hard now, but at one time he was quite difficult to me. That's what I mean, though. You start to learn the monster's attack patterns, too. Now, I'm just hammering away at this guy because he's not even tough, but, there's a lot of strategy to the game, and if you think it's a button masher or boring, you're kind of missing the point. And when you can play online with your friends, it really never gets boring. Music to anyone's ears. So I already finished the quest. Now, some of these quests will take you a full 50 minutes, especially the first few times you play them. I've already played, as I said, Monster Hunter Tri, and I had dabbled in the PSP, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, so this isn't my first Monster Hunter game. But if it is, this is a great place to start. It really includes a ton of monsters in it, a lot more than what were in Tri. So if you had Tri, I still recommend picking it up. If nothing else, the online's continuing. It's one of the best games on the Wii U. It probably, next to Zombie U, is the best game on the Wii U right now. It's a solid 9 out of 10. The graphics could be a lot better, but honestly, you just don't really care. That's the crazy thing about the game. It doesn't matter. And you know what? The game still is beautiful in its own way. It's got a unique art style. It doesn't have to be, it's got, so many thousand polygons per character. I don't really care. The monsters are well detailed enough, and the game's just plain fun. There's so much to the game. Monster Hunter is going to give you a ton of gameplay. I know it's still $60, and I've seen it on sale for $50 a couple places, but it's really worth the money. People always say, oh, this game, I blew through it in, so many minutes. Well, you're not going to blow through this game in so many minutes. I can tell you that. That's a good one. And, you know, there's a lot to it. You know, I haven't talked about the charms. I haven't talked about, you know, how you farm. I haven't talked about raising your resources by going into the Moga Village and doing the free hunts. There's a lot to it. There's different forecasts. Then you have online. You have low rank, high rank, and G rank. And there might even be more beyond that. And I've played almost 60 hours, folks, and I still have a ton of gameplay to do. I think the people that reviewed it early, if anyone gave it a negative review, they didn't play enough of the game, to be honest with you yet. So definitely pick this up if you're looking for a Wii U game that you can enjoy, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, and you can only get maybe 1 or 2 games. You can't do much better than Monster Hunter, to be honest with you. You're going to be spending a ton of time farming for armor, for swords. You're going to play online with your friends. Of course, it uses the gamepad well. You can use some of your interface for your heads-up display. You can put it on the gamepad for your map, or whatever you want to do, and you can decide what you want on your TV. That's kind of how all the gamepad really does. There's no co-op where, like, oh, one person can play on the gamepad and you can play on the TV, which is a little disappointing. You have to have a 3DS to do local co-op. You can play on the gamepad as of the latest patch. So you can have the sound come out of that as well. In the video, it looks great on the gamepad. It actually looks, in my opinion, sharper on the gamepad than it does on my TV, but I think it's using a lot of the assets from the Wii version. And that's alright. It's still, you know, like I said, it's still a beautiful game in its own right. The environments are pretty. Misty Peaks is beautiful. The volcano. It's really, you know, it may not be technically pleasing, but it's, you know, it has a very pleasing aesthetic, is what I want to say. Great game for your Wii U. Definitely pick it up. Again, 9 out of 10 for me. There's so much gameplay out of this, it's ridiculous. I've been addicted to this game. I've neglected a ton of games, including even great games like Tomb Raider, basically so I can play this instead. Monster Hunter, pick it up. Thanks.